All right, now to give us more insights in terms of why is it that Pakistan, despite the many problems that it has to deal with on its financial front, on its security front, it somehow seems to be obsessed with the issue of Kashmir. And to give us more insights into that, we're being joined by G. Parthasarathy, who's a former High Commissioner of India to Pakistan and also the former Information Advisor to the Prime Minister's office. Sir, thank you very much indeed for taking time out and speaking to us here on Beyond. Now, this is a question, that baffles everyone. And this is about Pakistan's obsession over Kashmir. And who better to perhaps shed light on this? Why do you think that Pakistan keeps bringing up Kashmir again and again, even though it is abundantly clear that no one in the international community, no one in the United Nations will now buy the agenda that Pakistan intends to raise over Kashmir?
Well, coming to young Mr. Bhutto and his statement, I think he's disowning the legacy of his grandfather and his mother. And incidentally, they were my neighbors in Karachi. The Bhutto house was just opposite the Indian Consul General's residence. The fact of the matter is that Mr. Zulfikar Ali Bhutto signed an agreement in Simla in June 1972 called the Simla Agreement, wherein he said that all differences between the two countries will be settled by bilateral talks and other mutually agreed means. But the focus was on bilateral talks. All these years, it went to bilateral talks. In the case, many years later with General Musharraf, things after Kargil started cooling down and there was a quest for a settlement which was pretty near success. So I can't understand why young Mr. Bhutto is disowning the legacy of his grandfather. His grandfather signed the Simla Agreement with Indira Gandhi, and it said bilateral.
Right.
That meant the UN was down their tubes. Finally, what I would like to add is that people like young Bhutto are now looking for political space.
Absolutely.
He's from Sindh. He is not from the Punjab province. And his father attained that sort of stature, and mother by sort of merging aspirations with what they felt was the aspirations of Punjab. What happened? Right. Grandfather got executed by a Punjabi president, and mother got killed in Punjab. So I think I would only advise the young person to remember that legacy.
Right.
And as for dealing with this, and at least honor the agreement his grandfather signed, but more important on the larger issue of Jammu and Kashmir, Pakistan should realize that going around with a begging bowl, asking for doles from everybody to remove it from bankruptcy, it is in no position to lecture to the world on issues which have been already agreed to be settled bilaterally.
Absolutely, indeed. Many would say that the issue of Jammu and Kashmir was settled back in 1947, and there's no reason as to why Pakistan needs to keep bringing it up again and again. But Mr. Parthasarathy, the question that I also want to ask you is, do you think any Pakistani leader would actually now want to actually address the issue of Kashmir? Because for the Pakistani leaders, it is politically expedient to keep bringing it again and again. Do you think that is what the heart of the problem is?
Well, I think, the other point is, if at some stage we choose to make public what has transpired during President Musharraf's time, when Dr. Manmohan Singh made it very clear that borders cannot be changed.
Absolutely.
But they can be made irrelevant for movement of people and trade and so on. So they'll have a lot thrown back at them, and I think the international community is rather tired. Here is Indian democracy flourishing, its economy flourishing, just handing over $3 billion to help a neighbor in need, Sri Lanka. I mean, for Pakistan to raise this issue, I mean, it's ludicrous. And at this point in time, when they are looking for their second slice of bread,
I think that's very
to hark back is rather, if I may say, unfortunate.
Absolutely, indeed. I think you've summed it up really well. Thank you very much indeed, Dr. Partha Sarthi, for joining us and getting us all those insights there. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.